obsessed with cars, cologne, and jewelry. No, wanna steal her heart, you better prepare for a ride. Like, ooh, oh. As her hair blows in the wind, she gon' look at you and say, I'm so sick of the usual things. We're capable of so much more than what's required. Gotta show me things I don't usually see. Gotta lift my mind beyond the norm and take me higher. Take me, take me, take me. Gotta take me, take me, take me, take me.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome. We are doing the tier list stream tonight. Shout out to everyone that's here. I am hoping that this doesn't take a long time. I'm gonna probably rush through all the characters that are bad, spend a little bit more time on the characters that are actually useful. Got a very packed week this week. This will probably be the last live stream of mine until November 3rd, Godzilla Day, where we will be getting Godzilla Battle Line news. And there is a high likelihood that this will be one of the last videos for the month of October, as I will not even be in the country for the next 2 weeks. So if you see any content that comes out after this, whether, I was gonna say whether it be stream or video, it's not gonna be stream, but if there's any videos that come out after tonight, they've probably been pre-recorded. So that's where I'm at, right? So that's just what we're dealing with. I see you again after last stream. Well, nice to see you again, Sorgan, Chief, Bloomerman, Neon Violet, Landshark, Thaddeus, Patrick, welcome. Bold of you to have your legal name and the username like that, but that's on you. I'm glad that I kept you around. Pyro, what's going on? And I got my ramen here that I was sipping on earlier. So hopefully I race the clock and I don't just have to take a huge shit in the middle of this. Alright, let's get it cooking. Let's get it cracking. Gotta take a sip. Let's get it going. Yeah, shit, I smart. Yeah, we can keep the stream alive. I'll just plug my phone in as a mic, and I'll just I'll put that right up to the cheek so you can hear it all. All right. Obviously, we can't start a tier list stream without mentioning that the stealth bomber is one of the best units in the game. I mean, I think we are just painfully underutilizing bomber in just about every capacity. And obviously, it's a joke. We are not using the bomber, ever. Bomber is bad. Birdie for 5 minutes died. I can tell by the way his cheek clap when he rips ass. Bro, that shit is earth-shattering, bro. You thought Ghidorah was awakening the Titans across the world? You ain't never heard me fart. Dog, it is... That is next level. It's next level, chef. Okay. Anguirus. Anguirus, pretty solid pick. Anguirus is going in the A. He has definitely... A bomber puts the heli base. Yeah, it's the same shit. Anguirus has definitely fallen off. I would definitely say Anguirus has fallen off big time. He is, he's good at tanking. Right, he can tank, but I mean, there's just so many better options now that are cheaper for just straight damage. If you're going to, use any kind of tank, you're probably using Earth. I mean, Anguirus is good, but I mean, he could be better. In my opinion, I think Anguirus could be a lot better. I think Anguirus definitely could be a lot better. I think he deserves to be better, honestly, but he's not. Sorry, I'm just opening up another window tab. Cheaper, tell us at least two. Two units that I think are better than Anguirus and cheaper than Anguirus are Mothra Imago and Biollante. Thank you. But he's good. I'm not saying that he's bad. I'm just saying that there are some better options now. I mean, you're not really slotting him into your deck as regularly as you used to. He's still a good option. That's why he's going to be in the A tier, but he's not like the best anymore. Batra, bottom of S tier. I mean, I feel like Batra, as long as you are Bio makes Anguirus irrelevant. Yeah, and now the new Mothra being a 3 cost, or Mothra being a 3 cost now makes Anguirus kind of irrelevant either. Can you put Batra in one of the tiers for me? I got you, Coconut. Batra's going to be an A, but he's going to be at the bottom of A. His time in the sun has definitely fallen off, but he is still... I mean, any character that's going to be able to deploy a attack boost is going to be good unless we start getting characters that have bigger attack boosts on deployment. We don't really have something like that right now, so he's going to remain in the A, and then his worm form... I'm reading chat. His worm form is probably stay in the B tier. I mean, most of this tier list, I'm honestly going to say is probably remaining the same as last season with a few exceptions. Like, Violante is B tier. This one is B tier, and this is just an easy. I almost want to put Violante in the S tier. This guy is doing anything but prepare for his big day. That's right. That's right. And literally anything. Literally anything but. I'm sipping my soup. I'm doing this. This Spain trip ain't gonna pay for itself, my friend. Yeah, I'm showing up to my wedding dressed like this. I think I might put either Violante is the top of S or somewhere in the bottom to middle of S+. Very close. Very close. Bomber is probably, honest to God, the worst unit in this entire game. I gotta make a video that is just like a number one mistake new players make, and it's invest in Stealth Bomber, because I constantly see people on like Reddit and Facebook and in my Discord go, I've had a lot of success with Stealth Bomber. This is super good. I don't know why you guys are dunking on Stealth Bomber, but they're like just started playing the game, and so they're facing bots. This is garbage, absolute garbage, and I'm not I'm not a fan of this. I think Burning Godzilla might be in the S tier for sure. No, I take that back. He's going into the A tier, at top of A. I don't think he's not going to live long enough in the current meta to get that explosion off. I don't think he's worth it. We're moving on. I mean, he's good, but he's listen, man, beginners literally get addicted with Bomber. Trust me, I was one who got addicted with him, and it's like food, but even better. That's insane. I would rather do heroin than use the Stealth Bomber. Well, Bomber, it's useful in low levels. There are also really good characters that are useful in low levels that aren't the Stealth Bomber. Literally everything in this game is usable at low levels. And why you choose the Bomber is beyond me. You know? Beyond me. It's not even good. Like on a stats basis, like even at early levels, like it's not even good. There are level 1 4-stars with better stats. Desghidorah. Desghidorah is smoking big crack this season, for sure. The boosted levels is incredible. The buff, what did he get a buff last season or the season before, whatever? What if he's been investing in missiles, health bombers, call emoji, rank 20 bombers, OP, I hate that for you, I'm sorry. Stealth Bomber is the worst unit in the game by far. And I think you could argue maybe the only unit that's worse is the airbase. But Desghidorah is definitely in the S this season, mid S somewhere. Neon Violet's got it right. I mean, last season I put him in the A, and that was what with his damage up or whatever the buff was. Man, when are you making the smash your pass? I don't even know. But I have to. Desghidorah is so good now, and it's because of the rented levels. Like, there's a lot of level 30s running around. There's a lot of, like, mid-level 20s running around. He's been in the game since, literally, since, like, the 4th or 5th month that the game has been out. Whenever All-Star Battle came around, I think he came with it. So a lot of veteran players already have him super high, and then the boosted rented levels, and him being rented this season is really good for him. So this season specifically, he's in the S tier because everyone is using a juiced up version of him. But like next season, he's going to fall most likely back into the like mid A area. But this season, especially, Desghidorah is an S tier. It's crack. He's really good right now. I give big recommendations to use him if you have him leveled up. Now, Destroya, I am a big fan of as well. Of the Destroyas, I'm going to put this one here, and this one here. I still think that Destroya is... one of the best units in the game. Even with the 2 new units, and Desghidorah's juiced up, and the Mothra buff, I still think that Destroya kind of slaps. I will say though that I would be willing to move him maybe a little bit lower onto in the S plus tier, because when the new Mothra, or not new Mothra, when the newly buffed Mothra or Desghidorah kills Destroya, they are going to also nuke his larvas immediately, which is huge. So he might get maybe shoved back a little bit, but I don't think he's leaving S tier. I mean, he's incredible. Like, at every sense of the word, Destroya is incredible. The 2 evolutions are super easy to evolve, and you know, it doesn't even matter if Destroya is OP, why is he in B? There's a Destroya in S plus right here. This one is in B because he doesn't really do a whole lot of damage, and he's on the ground, okay? He basically just exists to evolve. Once he evolves, he's in the A tier because he can fly, he's a 3 cost, and just spawns in, right? And when he evolves, he just spawns in, which is great because that means you can get this Destroya for 3 cost if you're smart. And then this Destroya is an S plus because he's an absolute fucking menace to society at every sense of the word. Incredible unit. Getting him for 3 cost is ridiculous. And I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of Destroya. Never leaves my side. This unit got absolutely shittered on. No, wait, never mind. That's Swarm in B. No, this isn't the Swarm. This is the aggregate form. This is the flying form. This is the perfect form. The Swarm is in D tier. If Destroy is so OP, then who was flickering the lights? Melee, you better cook this time. I cook every time. You just don't like the dishes I be preparing. And that's not my fault that you came to my restaurant and you don't like the dishes. You came here. The Destroya larvas are not good, and they're even, all of the bad swarms are made even worse this season because of the AoE on Rainbow Mothra, because of the AoE on regular Mothra, because of the explosion on Waka Godzilla, and because of the piercing on Desghidorah. So all of the swarms are much worse this season. So that's what I have to say about that. Dimension Tide arguably is even stronger than it was, because of all of the AoE running around. And, mind you, it only takes 1 hit to remove the Rainbow Mothra buff. Rainbow Mothra is buffing everything in a very close group. Guess what's going to grab them all? The Dimension Tide. And it's going to remove that boost, or it's going to remove the shield that Rainbow Mothra gives, and it's going to pull them into your Bylance. It's going to pull them into your Earth. It's going to pull them into your 4th Angel. It's going to pull them into your Desghidorah. It's going to pull them into your Mothra. Whatever. Dimension Tide is absolutely dominating this season. It was already super good. This season, it is exceptionally powerful. You don't have to use it on swarms because all the AoE that's going around is going to kill the fucking swarms. It's going to get rid of the Rainbow Mothra boost, and it's going to put all of your enemies' characters into the proper area of play that you want to just absolutely nuke them. It's incredible. Incredible. Dorats are bad this season. I might actually finally move the Dorats into the D tier because they're Swarm, and Swarms are just getting absolutely shit on this season. There's one exception. There's only one exception for Swarms that or two that I think are still cutting it, and it's not these. Updated leader tier list update. I gotta update the leader tier list next month. I think it's been enough time. So next month I'm gonna update the leader tier list, and there's not a lot of many leaders haven't gotten any changes, so I'll probably just be doing all of the new leaders. Yes, Gauss and the Kamacuras are still performing very well. Energy base. I had energy base in A tier last season because Earth meta. I'm gonna put it back into the B tier this season because since the Earth meta has had some time to just like gestate with the community, people have found ways to just run really high level or high ranking or high energy decks without needing the energy base. So I had it in the A tier last season because Earth meta was brand new and people were still figuring it out, and energy base working really well. It's in B this season because we have found out that we don't really need energy base to make Earth decks work. I don't use energy base in mine, and I run Earth and another 7 costs and a bunch of 5 costs. It's fine. Energy base is mostly useless. You're right, as Efinity, it's pretty useless. There is, if you don't have a proper way to counter it, it can be very difficult to counteract, or to like play against when they're just sending shit. But it really is not necessary. It's kind of just flavor. You're sacrificing a unit in your deck to pump out more characters, and you can run that, and it's not like a guaranteed win or anything. It's just nice to have. I'm putting it in the B tier. I don't think it's a C tier yet, but I mean, it's not super relevant anymore, but it works fine, and you don't really need it. Maybe even I put this maybe even in the C tier, because if anything, like, it gives you more energy, but the last 2 months have proven that you don't even need this to run an expensive and competent deck. You know, like, you don't need it. Now, the Rodans. This Rodan is pretty good. I'll put him, like, right maybe around here. He's pretty much just a meat shield and a damage boost. And then this Rodan... This Rodan is still good. You don't... I mean, the original 3 meta flyers, Rodan, or Fire Rodan, Batra, and Leo, like, Batra and Rodan are, like, nice to have now, not necessary. Leo, I think, is still incredibly powerful. But I'm going to keep Fire Rodan in here because the heals are pretty nice. I don't really see a lot of people using him, but that doesn't mean he's bad, necessarily. I don't know what the reasons. Maybe people just can't find a way to slot him in their deck, or he doesn't fit their playstyle or whatever, but he's good. Like, I see him a ton, and he'll keep you up, and sometimes that extra health is all you need. It's just, with all of the Earths running around, sometimes they're out damaging the amount that this Rodan can heal. I think he is still incredibly viable. I think that maybe he's being a little slept on. But I think he might be, if they're going to keep Earth the way he is, Fire Rodan needs some kind of boost or something. I don't know what it would be, but that is what I think. Sunday is pretty terrible. It's going in the D tier. You don't really need it. I mean, Sunday is a little bit better because for 2, you can just deploy Sunday and get rid of the Rainbow Mothra boost. But then you just pay 2 to do that, when you could pay 4 for the Dimension Tide and set up a nice play. The slow isn't actually this slow, you are setting up a play. You don't set up your own play. You set up a push for your opponent when you use this. You slow down their units so their other characters that are behind can catch up, and then there's a big push coming your way. That's literally it. Giant Octopus the GOAT, but he's going in the D tier. Not really useful. Longest slow in the game. Not super helpful. Definitely in the D tier. Now, Gigan... I still firmly believe Gigan is in the S+ tier. Gigan is is ridiculous. This is... Which I would rather eat him than use him. Gigan is still kind of cracked. I'm finding myself using him a little bit less just because of how much health is on the board, and Earths are not really immune to Sun. Cypher says Go is the worst unit in the game, should be dead last. I'm not even putting him dead last, bro. I'll put him here. But he's definitely not dead last. Gigan is definitely an S+ tier though. He is crazy. He's falling off a little bit because of the amount of health that Earth has. But he can still shred up Earths. He's doing work against Waka Godzilla too. He's pretty good. I might keep him in the S+ tier, just on the bottom of it. I might come back to him, but I feel like maybe he's falling off. But I don't think so. I think he's fine. Especially on if you're using him, I use him mostly on Tokyo and New York. On London, I usually swap him out with Bylante in the deck I'm running. Giant Octopus belongs in S tier. I agree, but Giant Octopus belongs in S++ tier. This Gigan is in the C tier. I think that he is probably like somewhere like this. He's a decent enough unit with the boost that he's had, but we're really seeing a now that Earth meta has come and is currently in, we're seeing actually for whatever reason a lot less people trying to push Fourth Angel with Gigan, and that's pretty much at least right now all he's good for as a unit. At least we're not talking about leaders here, so that's just where he's gonna be. Looking on what fucking characters you gotta go through, dog. All right, G21. I put G21 in the A tier last season. This season, I'm definitely not feeling the love anymore, and I think it's because Waka is strong enough to like move the push away. Like his explosion, I think cancels G21. Desghidorah on spawn cancels G21. He was a nice like surprise tactic when Earth was pretty much the only thing people are running. But this season, people are pretty much every game I'm seeing the new units, and like every single match, whether it's Waka or Rainbow or both, and they both are gonna put the hands on G21. So he's getting put back into the B tier this season, unfortunately. This Godzilla 54 is on the... Oh, did not mean to do that. Oh, did not mean to do that. Is on the higher end of the B tier. He is strong. He just gets a little debuff every time they add a new Godzilla to his pool. From my understanding, Waka Godzilla is not included in his pool. Which I think would have actually been kind of nice if he was. But he's not. So he gets a pass this season. You know, G99 was just recently added, and he's not doing this guy any favors. You're playing Russian roulette with this one. G89 arguably is in a worse position this season because he is being compared against Waka. And Waka is just I think better overall. I mean, this Godzilla, I think he has more health, but I think the other Godzilla hits harder. G89 is, I mean, Waka is the one you want to use now if you got them both, right? G89 is still good for beginners, but at this point, everything either has a ton of health or is flying, and he's gonna just get absolutely fucking wrecked on the field. As a leader, he's one of the best. On the field, not so much. And you'd think he would do a lot now, but you know, it's gonna take a lot. It's kind of, you know, it's gonna take a lot for him to get that one hit in, and then it's been blocked by Rainbow Mothra. Wakasa deals more damage and has more health than G9. How do you get good levels? I got bad levels. You just gotta play the game and open boxes and get your levels, or you buy it all. Earth, obviously best unit in the game. That's a no-brainer. Nothing about the new units in this season have changed it. Earth is still far and away the single greatest character in this game. It is ridiculous. He is oppressive. But it is what it is. Earth needs a buff. I just got him, and he's very expensive and slow and attacks slow. Earth does not need a buff. Earth just got a buff, and he is the best unit in the game. It's not even a question. He is the most oppressive unit in the game. He is good at any level. He's expensive, but yeah, they decided to make him lore accurate. Yeah, he is crazy with it now. He's a lunatic. It's insane. You throw Earth on the field. If you're a smart player, you're just gonna win. It just is what it is. So, but Earth versus Earth, it becomes a matter of, you know, can you outplay your opponent? He's a phenomenal character. I really like him a lot. I'm sad that the whole entire meta is Earth, but we knew this was coming for a long time, and now we're reaping what we sow. Earth is the best unit in the game. Terrestrius, I think, is the hardest pre-evolution to level up at the moment. I think he is he's 6. Ultima is also 6. Terrestrius 30 seconds evolution. They nerfed his recovery when he spawns. It used to be like a 15-second recharge. Now it's 10 or not recharge, health regen. He needs some kind of buff to make Ultima relevant again. He is now far and away the hardest pre-evolution to evolve. He needs some help because Ultima is pretty good. Ultima is a powerhouse. He hits from far away. He has a ton of health. He is still if you can get him on the field, he's a really good unit. He's really good. And no one uses him because Terrestrius is super difficult to level up, especially in this meta. It's also super hard to justify a 6 cost that you need to evolve, and that takes as long as he does. You can justify having Destroyer in your deck because he evolves. You put him for 3, you could potentially get Destroyer for 3 because he evolves and remains on the field. Terrestrius, you have to evolve, and then he gets put back into your hand, and then you then deploy him again. Hold on. Pen. Oh, I'm turning my camera off just for a second so that my fiance can come in here and get a pen. But we're going to continue this. Okay, so the next would be the Heteras, and Hetera is still gas. I like Hetera a lot, but unfortunately she has also kind of fallen off. It's not that she's difficult to level up. There's just plenty of AoE already in the meta, and she is just not up to speed with them. Like, I would rather use Earth instead. As an AoE, I would rather use the new Mothra as an AoE. I would rather use, literally any other AoE at this point. I love Hetera. She's one of my favorite original, like, Showa era kaiju. She's awesome. And I used to use her in a lot of my decks in this game. I think she just needs a damage boost or a health boost. She, like, reeks, no pun intended, of year 1 unit. Do I know Weenie? Yeah, I know Weenie. He's in my Discord. Sometimes he's in chat here. I do know Weenie. Weenie makes the best Godzilla Battleline videos on YouTube. Jet Jaguar. Jet Jaguar is also pretty solid as well. Not the best. He's definitely not the worst. I think he is like something kind of like this. Christmas music? Blah. What do you think what the next season would be? It's going to be Godzilla -1. I would be shocked if it wasn't Godzilla -1 next season. I would be shocked. Jet Jaguar is usable. You would think that he had a lot more application with a lot of heavy hitters on the field. He's like a little better than these goobers now because he can push away Earth, he can push away Waka, he can push away the 4th Angel, he can push away Destroyer. I'm going to move him up. I'm going to move him up ahead of these guys because they're kind of falling off. Too much is working against them, but I think Jet Jaguar's kind of on the come up. Hi, I'm new to the game. What should I focus on? You should focus on watching my playlist for beginners called the New Player Playlist on my channel. Love that. Welcome to the game. You should focus on... not upgrading as many characters as possible. You should just focus on what team you're using at the moment. I suggest sticking through this tier list, whether you pay attention or not, and like seeing what units are good, what units are bad. If you're a beginner, I would recommend using Kiryu as your leader, and then level up G89 in the background, which is the golden Godzilla, because he'll be a good leader eventually. But I have a whole playlist explaining all that. But I recommend, at least for now, stick around and watch and find out what units are good and why. You feel like -1 could be released in America since a lot of the player base lives here. I'm pretty sure more players of this game are in Japan than anywhere else. At least that's what my sources tell me, is that the majority of the player base is in Japan, believe it or not. The American community, or the Western, I should say, community is pretty tight-knit, though. So it seems like we have everyone, but I'm pretty sure the Japanese community is bigger. But they have never done anything in this game by the release dates in America. Except for, actually, maybe except for Singular Point. But -1 is definitely not. I think -1 is a shoo-in for next month. Should I watch your playlist for beginners even though I've been playing for 3 months? You can if you want. I will not stop you. Jet Jaguar Singular Point. This season especially, I'm cranking him up into the, like, higher up in the A tier this season. The double block that he gets, Rainbow Mothra gives him a 3rd block. His DPS is good. He's eating up earths. He's eating up things on the ground. Wakasa is doing the 3 shots. He's blocking 2 of them. He's just performing at an exceptional level. He does get hard countered by the Desgadoras and the Mothras, which do have a buff, but he is also in his own right been very, very solid. I have been beaten by a bunch of Jet Jaguars this season that I thought I might have had the upper hand on. I'm moving him up. I'm confident in saying I'm adjusting him, move him up. This larva, or this swarm, sucks also. These for 5 costs are bad. These are only good. The Destroy larvas are only good when they come from Destroy a perfect form. The Kamacuras swarm is terrible for 5. You're dumping for 5 costs all this shit. Probably don't get any wins because they don't got good levels. Yeah, go play some more and open up boxes. Also, this is for, I don't remember what your name is. You said you were a new player. Any new players in here, don't use your gems on offers and stuff like that. Just use your gems to open up the expeditions and just crank them all open. You should be opening all your 3 and 6 hour ones as soon as you get them. Let the 9 hour ones run a little bit and then open them. And then your 12 and 24 hours should always be running in the background. But this Kamacuras is bad. 5 cost for all these goobers is a bad evaluation. 2 cost for all of these ones is a good evaluation. This is what I call a good evaluation. I had them at a little bit higher. Last month, I had them not directly at the bottom of S, but close to it. They are still S tier, but because of the new flyers being so strong, they're just going to be at the bottom. They're mostly used to stop ground-based attackers or eat up ground attackers that are occupied on another target. There's a lot of AoE going on around right now. There's a lot of flyers. They are not as useful. I mean, they're still very useful, but they're... use cases this season are dwindling a little bit. I run them in my deck. I see them all the time. Mine are level 40. This is the first unit that I took to 40. Is fucking incredible. Once Kiryu evolves, Kamacuras are hit by the missile explosion, though. You put them behind the Kiryu. Put them in. You can have the Kiryu distracted on them, give you a free second to hit. Pop them in front of the Mogera. They chew up Kiryus. They chew up Mogeras. I don't think I've ever I've never had a Kiryu like come out and do like a ridiculous amount of damage to my leader because I have the Kamacuras. Whether he attacks them or whatever, they provide an amazing distraction for 2 cost. For 2 cost, you're basically countering 5 cost, 6 cost characters. You're stopping any land-based unit. You're stopping Leo for 2 cost. It's the cost evaluation. I don't care what takes them out. They're not supposed to be soloing characters, right? But they're soloing Kiryus and Mogeras. They're there to stop characters and provide your team with the window that you would need to get those extra hits in to survive a push. You know, for 2, I'm playing 3 characters with a large health pool, and I am buying myself 3 attacks, which could end up being almost 10 seconds, 15 seconds, depending on what the character is. And that could be enough time for me to get my energy back and then deploy something, right? And you say right there, Rainbow Shark, Cams, and Rainbow Mothra. That is a insane combo. Giving the Kamacuras a free hit is ridiculous. Honestly, better than Basher for their usage and cost. They're just usage and cost wise are phenomenal. I would put them in the S+ tier, but I don't feel like they're up like at a game changing level. They're definitely pretty good. I think if anything, the contender for S+ that is on this list that isn't already on there is Bylante. Kids is bad. Kids is pretty bad right now. I had Kids in C last season because of the surprise Earth drops, but no one is working Kids into their decks right now. There's no need. So that's just going to be in the D tier. Kids isn't very useful right now. Maybe if Kids had like a buff of some kind that made it faster at lower levels. At high levels, Kids is kind of a menace and it's hard to counterplay. But you literally need to invest until it's like level 40 or higher, and that's just not reasonable for a lot of people. Caesar is just getting absolutely shafted, bro, like left and right. I feel like Caesar isn't like super strong anymore. I feel like King Caesar, like he's getting blocked by Kamacuras, he's getting blocked by Gigan 04, he's getting blocked by the 4th Angel. Rainbow Mothra gives a free hit. You know, if King Caesar doesn't land, if King Caesar doesn't land his hit, he basically is useless. And with the addition of Rainbow Mothra and making a large group of units immune to one big hit, he's out. He's out. I like him, but now that his one job that he's supposed to do is almost invalid some games, he doesn't matter anymore. The Ghidorah brothers right here, I also don't really like them a ton. I think that they're also kind of bad. I'll put them like this. I really truthfully think that like G21 at this stage in the game is better, purely because of the way he can counter Earth. I really don't... these Ghidorahs, this Mecha King Ghidorah especially needs like a damage adjustment or attack adjustment or something. They are literally the same exact unit, except he has 69 nice more damage. That's it. That's the only difference between them. There's no other difference. He needs a substantial difference to even be worth it in my eyes. And for the cost, it's just not happening. Not happening. Bylante went from S+ to now just S, still good. I don't think Bylante's been S+ for a little while now, at least on this channel. Mecha King Ghidorah is just a reskin at this point. He's literally just a reskin. Kiryu, and I'll move Kiryu Kai over here as well so we can do them together. I like Kiryu. I like regular Kiryu more than I like Kiryu Kai. They're both good characters, but I am more of a fan of Kiryu Kai than I am of regular Kiryu. I'm sorry. I'm more of a fan of regular Kiryu than I am of Kiryu Kai, because Kiryu Kai has to be pretty close to use that AoE attack. He always has the AoE attack. You can place him too far, and then he becomes a single target, and then he's Kamacuras food, right? Or he's G9 food. Whatever you have on defense. I prefer the regular Kiryu over Kai, and I think a lot of veteran players also feel the same. If you're a newer player, you might be like, oh, well, he's the evolution. He must be better. I mean, by the stats, he is better, but regular Kiryu plays better. Like, it is more difficult to play Kai than it is to play Kiryu, and I think that makes the regular Kiryu so much better, is because he is a lot more flexible than Kai. He is set and forget, bro. You drop him wherever, and he just does his job. Kai, you have to plan a little bit more ahead. I mean, GBL players are not known for their immense brain power. So, take that as you will. I prefer using Kiryu over Kiryu Kai. Kong is doggy doo-doo dog water right now. He is not good. He hasn't been good in some time. He is and has always forever. Did you just call GBO players dumb? Yeah, I did, and you didn't even spell dumb correctly. So my case has been proven. My point and case has been proven. But Kong has never been good, and at this rate, he will never be good unless they add an alternate version of him or buff him. He's not really been. He's always just been a weaker version of GD9. And now GD9 isn't even that good. So what does it say about Kong? Right? Kong is out. I mean, not that he's been in. I like him as a leader. He called us players very dumb. I have something called phone autocorrect. I want to destroy my phone. Yeah, okay. You have phone autocorrect and you still spelled the word wrong. So what are you trying to say? Marker Light Cannon is also bad. I don't think it is the worst in D tier because there's so many high-leveled units running around that at least in the early game that this is going to be somewhat usable. But the further you moved up the ranks and the more, challenging opponents you face, this is going to get absolutely just shit on at like literally every turn. So I would not invest in the Mark Light Cannon for the long run. But if you're between levels like 1 and 40, Mark Light Cannon should be fine, but it really drops off right around that area. This one is also garbage. The base, not only is it a swarm type, and it is getting shit on because of all the other swarms. I mean, Earth is the best unit in the game, and he's stun immune, and then Rainbow Mothra's giving shields that these things are gonna die in one hit. They're not even gonna get their attack off. They might get the stun off, but it's not gonna be any help. These are even worse. I mean, these are just bad. I'll put them here above them too because they're cheaper, but they're just fucking terrible. Like the second month of the game, I was using the M-Boss regularly with Manila because they were so good at stunning, right? And that's how I was playing in the original few months, but those dropped off pretty quickly as well. This character, Mecha Godzilla 93, is actually fucking dog water. He is terrible at like every level. He is just a standard, like he's the tutorial unit. I know G89 is supposed to be the tutorial unit. This is like the tutorial like land unit. He's your tutorial leader. He's your tutorial land unit. He can hit the ground, he can hit the air, and he's not very good at either of those things. C tier. Mega Gearus, also in the C tier. Like I said with Hedera, I mean, at least Hedera has like a decent enough AoE, but I don't even know if I would put Hedera up here. I might actually move Hedera lower because the lack of swarms. Mega Gearus also reeks of Year 1 syndrome, where she is a decent enough unit, but in the current meta, she's going to get absolutely clobbered. She needs some kind of stat adjustment to even come close to some of the stats that the newer units are getting. So she has been powered. This tier basically should just be called like literally like this, power craft. C's for power craft. Like this. Like, because that's just what this is. Like, all of the characters in here are just getting power crept like fucking crazy. Manila, Speak of the Devil, also not very good. Definitely better than him. Header was kind of good last season because of the guys were running around a lot. Do we have more characters? Oh my god, bro. We have like a million characters. Hedera goated last season for the Gauss, understandable. Not so much this season. Oh, you know what we could do for D? D could be like this. And then it will be D for dog water, bro. These shit characters down here. D for dog water, C is power crept. This is fucking terrible. The missiles are also really, really bad. They're 5. This music is kind of loud. I'm going to turn it down a little bit. I didn't realize it was so loud this whole time. So I apologize if that was super loud. Usually agree with you on these melee, give or take a level 2, but please explain how missiles is not the worst piece in the game. A little side note, where's G98 Toho? Okay. Missiles. You know what? Missiles might actually be the worst in the game. You know what? Missiles are the worst effect in the game. These are the worst units in the game. I'll take that with you. The more characters that get introduced at a higher level, and the longer that these stay at 5 energy, the worse that they get. So you're right. I see you. I see the vision, and I'm with you. These are fucking terrible. Mogera, pretty solid. I'll put Mogera in the A tier, maybe like right around here. Not necessarily a must-have on your team. Very annoying to deal with him and Kiryu's. People like to leader spam a lot, especially when there's a new leader character and the rented levels are a little bit lower. They're hard to deal with for some players. I like Mogera. I think they're reasonably priced. Maybe I would like to see them become 4 energy instead. But I think for now, he's fine. And they'll go in the A tier. Alright, now we're getting to the Mothra territory. Mothra Leo. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do this, and I think I might do this. I don't know. Maybe this? I don't know. These two are pretty close to S tier if they're not. Mothra Leo is incredible once again. I actually might put Leo below Biollante because Leo is suffering this season from King Caesar. The same thing King Caesar is, where you can use the Rainbow Mothra and give things a damage resist, and then his big hit is null and void. But he still is really tanky and does a lot of damage, so he's not totally useless, unlike Caesar, who has nothing to his name outside of the one big hit. Leo at least is tanky as hell and has high damage, so he's at least useful even if you don't get the big hit. I use Cam's Bronze as a meat shield for Mothra Leo. That's what I do. I know plenty of people use Mothra Lead now. I'm not talking about Mothra Lead. Melee B Lane, what's going on? We're chilling. Mothra Lead is pretty good though this season, but we're talking about units. This Moth is definitely, I think, higher up. Maybe not. No, yeah, I'll put him in B. I think last season I had him in C. I'll put him in B this season because he gets a lower cost. We love to see a lower cost. Maybe I do like this. You get a lower cost, so they get to move up. This Mothra is, like, this season off the fucking charts. I'll put him right there. For 3 cost, do you think Mothra needed that buff? Absolutely. Absolutely. Mothra was seeing virtually no play as a unit, period. Now, for 1 less energy, she is the same... What is she, at 3 now? She's the same energy as Biollante. She's crazy. She's always done a ton of damage, but she's always at an awkward spot. 4 energy, you know, for 1 more, you could do so much. Leo, Batra, Fyrodan, you know, and for 1 less, it was like Biollante, Kumo Augment. So it was really pick and choose, and she was losing those battles. Now that she's 1 less energy, and she's rented this season, people have her at like level 30 or higher, and she's crazy. She's putting out a ton of damage. I really like this Mothra. I think it's really close with Leo, who is better, but this season especially. But this Mothra is definitely really good. Naranga. I like Naranga. I think Naranga is probably at the bottom of the A. Bro, people even use Zeton. I see him there. I use Zeton. I'm like the only fucker that uses Zeton. I like him. I really want the Zeton figure arts, by the way, if anyone's watching. That's coming to my wedding, and if you're watching this, I want the Zeton figure arts. Thank you. We're not talking about Zeton. Who the fuck are they talking about? Naranga. Naranga is good, decent health, okay damage. Falling off because of Earth is stun immune, so you're not really too worried about Narangas anymore. Kendra in the Health Leader Fest, yeah, for Mothra especially. Psychic Chorus, pretty good this season. I'm gonna put him right there. Psychic Course is always going to be good as long you adding more heals, you healing up your characters is going to keep them on the field longer, lets you do more damage. Maybe you win a battle with this. I don't really have to explain why healing your characters is good, right? Psychic Course is pretty good. This Rodan is dog shit. I think he actually is maybe worse than Mechagodzilla. Actually, he might be better because he's flying. Oh, B for can be better is good. Can, and then be better. Can be... Oh, no, what was it? B, and then better. Can be better. I like that. It's a good one. You can do A for amazing. Super. Stellar. He's only better than Mechagodzilla because he can fly. They're pretty much the same shit. Now, Shin Godzilla. This is a pretty easy guaranteed evolution. This also is a pretty easy guaranteed evolution, but he is kind of dog water. He didn't really do anything. And then regular Shin Godzilla is not A. Regular Shin Godzilla is probably laying around here somewhere, just because he's easier to evolve. But I don't know. I might even do something like maybe like I don't know. I don't really know how I feel about him there, but he is he's good, but he's not strong enough to survive in this meta. I mean, if you have a really strong one, like the player no one, his is like level 30 plus. I think it's like almost 40. That's pretty good, but he is not good. He is not really good. He's supposed to be anti-flyer, but he does not really good at that job. Now, Space Godzilla. Space Godzilla is a character that is widely slept on, in my opinion. I actually think he's probably up closer to the top of A than most people realize. Him paired with Earth is incredible. Him taking the aggro from Leos is incredible. Him taking the hits for Waka is incredible. People really do discount the crystals that he drops, and it's unfortunate because the crystals are incredibly strong. So I think he's definitely on the up this season for sure. I'm seeing a lot more of them. People are wisening up to Space Godzilla's tactics. Maybe he becomes rentable when the alternate Space Godzilla comes out, whenever that is. But I like him a lot. I'm moving him up a little bit this season. Super X. Super X is still in the high B tier. Was really good when there wasn't a ton of health running around, but now between Fourth Angel, Destroyer, Earth, the Mothra that blocks a fucking hit, Waka Godzilla being like unkillable monster, I mean, Super X is definitely falling off. It's not as good as it was. I really like the gameplay style of Super X. Does anyone else just forget that Unit 8 is in the game? I fucking love Unit 8, but they need some serious reworking. But yeah, Super X is down because it's not doing a ton of damage, and I am wanting to also say Ultraman. I'll probably even do this. Ultraman is falling off too. If they gave him his damage back, his old damage, he would be better. Maybe make him a 4 cost. But he could be a lot better, but he also doesn't do enough damage to really help out in this meta. You need something that's either attacking really fast for a little bit of damage or hitting slowly for a ton, and he does neither. Super X hitting 3 times per shot is good versus Jet Jaguar Single Point and Rainbow Mothra Protect. I agree, but then they also have to deal with Earth. It's not like the best. I mean, maybe I'd do like this. It's just super hard to fit this in the deck right now for 5 costs when you have so many other things in here that would be way better. Trains is phenomenal. Interchange it how you want. Trains better than Psychic Core. Psychic Core is better than Trains. They're just good damaging. They've always been. I actually think they might even just maybe be a little bit lower than normal because there's just so much health on the field that it's hard to justify using that on a unit and not on like a leader or an energy base. But it's still a pretty decent enough damage dealer, so you shouldn't feel bad about leveling it up. Zeton is my favorite unit. I'm putting him in the S+2. No, he's not my favorite unit. He's close to it, though. Zeton, I had Zeton, I think the highest ever been is B, and that was a few months ago. But that was before Earth took over, and if you're going to compare Earth to Zeton, Earth is monumentally better. And it's pretty much Zeton's cost is dragging him down. If Zeton was like a 6 cost, I could justify putting him in more decks, maybe a 5 cost. But for 8 or whatever the fuck he is, it's not very good. I really hope that Zeton gets a boost, because I really do like the defensive gameplay that Zeton offers. But man, he is not performing well. I really do like Zeton. Zeton was never B. Oh, Zeton was most certainly B. Like 3 or 4 months ago when I made that video with like a Zeton deck, I saw a ton of people using Zeton. Zeton was really good defensively. But not very good right now. Mephilas also needs like a major fucking adjustment. Mephilas is not... there's no reason that Mephilas is a 6 cost. There is zero reason for Mephilas. He is literally a 3 cost unit or a 4 cost unit. The fact that he's a 6 cost is ludicrous. He was never going to be usable purely because of the cost. That's it. He's good. He's a good unit. By all metrics, he is a good unit. But compared to the other 6 cost characters, he is really bad. So that's why he's here. Because for 6 cost, he's unplayable. Final Wars Godzilla. Final Wars Godzilla, I think, is kind of taking a back seat this season. He is a really good character that you don't really need on your team right now because you can pump out just as much damage for way cheaper. He's good. He's very strong right now. But I don't think he's needed in a deck. I don't think he's at the top of his game right now. He's definitely good. He's definitely very usable. But he's not, like, mandatory. But he's good. I'm putting him in the S tier. Ava Unit 1... low B, maybe, like this. I mean, she's... I don't actually even know if Ava Unit 1 belongs in the B tier anymore. Like, she's immune to explosions, which is great, but we're not really in the explosion meta. I don't really think that she is, like, super relevant anymore. I mean, just her when it was, like, units with lower health was fine, but now with Earth and Destroya, I don't know. I don't think that she is, I love her to death, and mine is level 20 something. I really do like Ava Unit 1, but I think at this current stage in the game, I don't really see a point in using her, unfortunately. I mean, she has a lot of things going for her, but it's not... I mean, her targeting is still a little weird. Her Gatling gun doesn't do a ton. How would you feel if Battle Line had a Super Sentai Power Rangers collab? Awesome. I love collabs. The more the merrier, I say. Fourth Angel is a phenomenal unit. Still one of the best units in the entire game. I would wager to say better than Gigan. In a lot of scenarios, he's just a phenomenal character. I mean, shit, hold on. This season, I mean... I almost want to put Mothra in the S tier this season, just because of the rented and everything. I might stay like this. But Fourth Angel is just incredible as well. Maybe I'll do like this. I don't know. Something like this. Fourth Angel is just so good right now. Kind of like how Toho units are finally mostly better than the collab units minus Fourth Angel, obviously. I mean, Fourth Angel is fucking ridiculous. I mean, that explosion... I mean, the base damage he does alone when he does a hit is really strong, and then that explosion deals like a wicked amount. So, big ups to him for staying as one of the best units in the game pretty much since last November. It's almost been a full year of him being like a dominant character. Where is Jaden? Because I'm talking about his favorite character, Mechagodzilla, which is fucking shit as well. Fucking garbage ass character. Terrible. Stupid ass Godzilla, Mechagodzilla. I love this design, but he's terrible right now. Why is level 5 Godzilla 4 a tiny bit better than level 10 Desghidorah? Because he's beefy. That's just his stats. Desghidorah is a year 1 character. Final Wars is a year 2 character. He just has better stats. Power creep. GMK is also a very good unit. GMK is kind of taking a back seat right now because people are not really grouping up characters as much as they were. Would you rather have AIDS return to the Kuma meta? AIDS. For sure. All GVQ units are dog. Not gonna lie, a little bit. I like GMK. I don't think he is super strong right now, but he is overall a really good unit. He is being seen regularly in the arena. People are grouping characters around Earth, which is really nice. Because he's going to hit a lot of characters. But I think he just underperforms when there's not a ton of swarms or people aren't really grouping up a ton. So if your opponent is grouping up all their characters around Earth, then he's going to be really good. But if they're not, Final War is going to be better. In my mind, I think Final Wars and GMK are kind of interchangeable. Final Wars is amazing single target, and GMK is overall better AoE. I like GMK more myself, but that's just my playstyle, but both of them are very good characters. The 10th Angel is definitely one of the better units in the game, just under S tier. I think once more people get him level 30, they're really going to turn around and have like a come to Jesus with him. I think he's slept on by a large portion of the community. He's immune to explosions. He has phenomenal range. He has piercing. He explodes himself, which is great. I really like him. I like the 10th Angel a lot. Mine is level 28 or 29 at this point, and I have no regrets at all with the 10th Angel. Just a phenomenal character overall. I think definitely a runner-up for S tier for sure. I don't know what they could change. Maybe make his damage a little bit stronger and put him in the S tier, but he is just a phenomenal unit. You put him behind Earth, and it's Jover for pretty much any other character. Can I make this smaller so you can see more characters? Mari, Unit 8, is fucking... I don't even know if she goes into the C tier. I mean, she's not on these guys' levels, but I think, truthfully speaking, Mari is kind of slept on because on paper she seems really strong, but like in action it's not very good at all. So I'm gonna keep her in the C tier, and that's just gonna be how it's gonna be. How do you have over 20 GMATs? GMATs have been in the game since last February, not February 2023, February 2022. They added G materials, so people have been saving them for a very long time. They normally offer a ton of them every season, so you just save for months and months and months. Unit 0. I definitely think Unit 0 is on the higher end of gameplay. I think she is a pretty decent enough tank when she gets a 70% damage reduction on her, and then her explosion is fine as well. I like her a lot. A lot of people don't level her up. I think a lot of people sleep on the Ava units. Her especially, she is the best of the bunch. I like her a lot. So I feel comfortable keeping her in the A tier. Somewhere around there I think is good this season. She's not seeing a ton of play because she's not dealing a ton of damage outside of that explosion, but she is pretty good. I will keep her in the A tier. Zfinity is, it's your time to shine with these dog shit fucking Ava units. Unit 2 is, like, fine as a pre-evolution. It's, like, it almost feels like a standard unit. This one is like this. This is fine. Maybe, like, even something like this. Maybe. I feel like is more reasonable, I think. I think the beast form is alright, but needs some changes. And that's just where I'm leaving it. Above Mega. I don't even know if beast form is above Mega Gearus, bro. I don't even know if I could say that with a straight face. When did the original Kiryu season come out? The original Kiryu season was the very first Christmas of GBL, so 2020. So regular Kiryu's from 2021. Kiryu Kai is from last year at some point. I don't even remember when. Or Kiryu Kai was this year? No, Kiryu Kai was last year, right? I don't even fucking remember. If you, it is if you have damage boost. I don't give a shit about the damage boost. I'm not listening to your propaganda. This is what I believe. This is what I believe. I will do this to you. I will continue to do it to you until you learn your lesson. Moving on to Kamen Rider. Kamen Rider is pretty spicy. I like Kamen Rider a lot. Kiryu Kai was November 2022, I think. No, I think November 2022 was Ava 1. I don't remember when Kiryu Kai was. Oh my god, now I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to talk about Kamen Rider. Kamen Rider, I think, is pretty good. Kamen Rider is definitely in the A tier for me. I think Kamen Rider is somewhere around here. I've been using... Kiryu Kai was with Ava 1? Oh, they were together? Was it Kiryu Kai, Ava 1, and the Fourth Angel? Interesting. Oh, which makes sense because of the skin. Yeah, you're right. They probably did do that all three as a bunch together. You're right. I like Kamen Rider for 4. He feels pretty easy to play. Kamen Rider a bit too strong for 4 cost. Honestly, unfair that he still knocks back units as a lead. Yeah, no, Kamen Rider is definitely very strong 4 cost. People just don't have the levels invested in him. I mean, he's from March, so he's been around for a long time. But people just... Kamen Rider, I think, gets unfairly hated. He's really good, though. I use him a lot. And people get surprised when I whip out the Kamen Rider. But I like him a lot. He's definitely super usable. Kumo Augment got absolutely fucking fried last month. He's dog shit now. I wouldn't... I mean, he's good because of the stun, but other than that, like, I mean, the stun is his only reason that he's not in the dog water, in the D category, right? So, he's going to be there, top of the C. He had to get 2 nerfs to be unplayable. Mechagodzilla, whatever this is, 74, 73 is, I feel like he needs something. I don't know what it is he needs. Landstrike says he needs a HP boost or no delay and or invulnerability when shedding the disguise. Love this version. Really wanted to be good, but sadly he's meh. Yeah, he like doesn't have a super fast fire rate. He doesn't have a ton of health. He doesn't have a ton of damage. He can still get hit when he's in the transformation. Like, he is a really interesting like gimmick character, but he doesn't really bring any kind of like tactical value to the field. I don't know if that's even the right wording, but he is not very good. Chibi Godzilla. I mean, Chibi Godzilla is kind of fucking like a joke. I mean, I love him. He's great and he sings. I mean, he's so cute. I fucking love Chibi Godzilla. Like, on every level in this game, I love Chibi Godzilla. Realistically, he's not very good. He's kind of just like a jokey character that they added with the Mechagodzilla 74 season, so it is what it is. I like him. I wish he was better, and I wish they add more chibi characters that also sing and are good at the game. Ghidorah, 2019. Part of me wants to put Ghidorah 2019 in A because I feel like maybe the S tier is a little packed, but Ghidorah is pretty fucking sturdy, my dudes. Like, he is really good. I'm gonna put him like right here. I mean, his damage is good. His AoE when he spawns is good. His health is fantastic. He's a little expensive. He's stun immune, but you don't really need that anymore because Kumo's gone. But he's crazy. He is so fucking good. And Cyber, you just said it best. He's crazy good, and no one has levels on him. That's true. Scarlet Ghidorah has levels on him, and it's a fucking nightmare to deal with this dude. Really good unit. Really slept on. I recommend, if you're even the slightest fan of the Monsterverse stuff, he's really good. Additionally, I think Mothra 2019 also is definitely has had a comeuppance. Hiding behind Earth, you getting this range out is huge. Pairing this Mothra with the other Mothras is phenomenal. And you know what the kicker is for me with Mothra 2019? Mothra 2019 is one of the units that is super usable at any level because you're not really using her for her damage or her health. You're using her for the stun immunity that she grants to players. And you are, I see Easy Fit, I'm ignoring you. You use this Mothra for the stun immunity that she gives, but you don't really need that anymore. But you're using it mostly for the slow, and then the energy regain when she... What if Akuma above Beast? I don't see what the hype is. I don't think the Beast form is very good. I've never seen a Beast form ever in this game that I've been like, oh, there's a Ava 2 Beast form. I'm more concerned if I see a Kumo at this stage, and maybe that's just PTSD talking. But I've never once seen a Beast and been like, oh, I'm in trouble. Never. Never. I played some with all Mothra deck and batch. I'm not sure how it worked every time I got blasted. That's right. Because Mothra 2018 is really good. And in the right hands, she's super effective at any level because you don't need her for her health or her damage. She barely does any damage to begin with. It's the range with that slow. Can you put the Beast behind Mephialus? I could. I could possibly. Beast form is only threatening if it's fighting a full flyer deck. Even then, I'd rather use Shin. I mean, Beast form is only threatening in All-Star Battle. But yeah, Mothra's just really good. Has a ton of utility. You can literally use her at level 1 in Arena 66, and she does exactly the same job. So she's a fantastic character. Monster X and Kaiser Ghidorah are not... They're not, like, super good at a whole lot. So, like, Monster X probably is, like, somewhere down here. He's at least, like, a usable character for the... what he's capable of. I mean, he's just, like, fine. And then Kaiser Ghidorah is, like, slightly... I mean, Kaiser Ghidorah definitely has uses, but it's not like... Monster X is better than Kaiser. Sadly, Kaiser really needs his attack speed fixed. Kaiser's attack speed needs to get fixed. I think the only thing that keeps him above Monster X is that he can heal himself, which comes through in a pinch. Kaiser really needs his damage. Neophyte says Kaiser's low A. I think that with enough levels, Kaiser will probably make it into the A tier eventually. At this point in the game, with the direction that the current meta is in, he's really not super helpful. He really isn't, unfortunately. He's cool, and I know a lot of people were hyped to get him. He's not very good, at least in my personal opinion, and if that changes in a few months, that changes. Gotta go peace. If you won't take my propaganda, I gotta spread it elsewhere. Have fun with that. Kaiser's absolute menace and fix, just suffers with that DPS. Your Kaiser's 22, you still don't use him. I mean, what was that guy during the last live stream for Battleline who was like, I put 36 GMATs into my Kaiser and he's terrible? Godzilla 1999, Godzilla 2000 is also, like, not very good, but he's, like, a little bit better. Like, I don't know. He's not very good either. I don't like him. I think he's a little too weak. I think that his, the only thing he really has going for him is that explosion that he does when he kills a unit and he detonates them in an area. But he needs to get the final hit for it. And he's not doing enough damage. And everything in the meta right now has, like, an insane amount of health or is just tanking shots like fucking crazy. He does not have the damage to be put up in those scenarios, and when he does get in there, he pretty much dies before most of the times he can activate his ability. I think he was a little better last season because the Gauss was everywhere. The Swarms aren't really being used right now outside the Kamacuras. I feel like he does not get... I mean, I'll put him below Mechagodzilla. I feel like he does not get his time to shine. He's not a particularly C-list character. He's not like a bad character, but he needs to be the one that's getting the final hits to even be his ability to even activate, and he's not doing enough damage to secure the final hits. He's doing, like, just too little. So not very good. Megalon, I do think that Megalon is pretty good. Megalon is 3 cost. The attack is absolutely terrible. I agree, Super Mechagodzilla Gaming. Megalon low S or high A, just knowing his levels on him, you get really good abilities for only 3 energy. I agree. I have him here for now in low A, but Megalon is an easy contender for top of A and then S tier. He has no real damage. He has a minor AoE, but he can grant that 10% offense down debuff in an AoE range pretty consistently. He has a heal block No one plays him because he's only 2 months old and no one has the levels on him. I guarantee you come 5 months from now, next year perhaps, you're going to see a lot more Megalons. For 3 costs, he has amazing utility. Amazing utility. Just right now, there's not a lot running around with decent enough levels to even be competitive. He is pretty good. Why is Megalon a 4-star again? So Toho could milk him for money. That is why. Gamera. Gamera is not rented this season. Gamera is not rented this season. So the opinions on Gamera and Gauss will be a little bit different. Gamera, I still think is halfway decent. I think Gamera is not terrible. I definitely think Gamera, if you want to add him to your deck, he is a solid enough choice. He can knock back the flyers, which is good. He just does really well against flyers. His damage against the ground units is not that good. He's not rented this season. I think he is just like a better version of... He's almost a fully better version of Kamen Rider, I think. So I'm going to put him with Kamen Rider. Also, first time Desi's ever been an STR Melee tier. It's a day to rejoice. Well, he's fucking really good this season. But I'm putting Gamera up kind of towards the more top end of A. And then I'm going to put Gauss as well, like, up here somewhere, dude. Because Gauss is crazy with it. I mean, they don't have the rented levels. I mean, maybe I'd do something like this. I don't know. Something maybe like this would work. They're both really good. Gamera's not terrible. He used to knock the bombers away. Bro, I don't even care about knocking the bombers away. I let the bombers hit me. How can I get Evas? Because I'm only missing the one with the sniper. They're just in the regular boxes. You just got to get lucky. They're still in the game. They're readily available everywhere. But yeah, Gauss is, as far as swarms go, really solid. I like Gauss a lot. It takes a little bit of setup to get them going, but once you get the Gauss going, like, a lot of the top players will tell you that they had a ton of fun with Gauss last season, and I for sure think that a lot of them will be bringing Gauss back into their teams in a few months' time when they have a little bit more levels on them. Gauss and Gamera are really, really good. Shocking to see a swarm unit even perform in the slightest positive way in the last 2 seasons, but Gauss are killing it, and Gamera is a ton of fun to use as well. So they're both going in the A tier, at least right now. Rainbow Mothra and Waka Godzilla. Let's go with Rainbow Mothra. Featured unit of the season. Flies, 5 cost. What is the attack? Like 2 seconds. Gives the damage resistance to all of the allies when they spawn. It's a little bit on a delay. This season in particular, I think Rainbow Mothra is probably somewhere like here. Actually, I might even move this guy back like that. He is not very strong in his own right. His damage is very low, and he's only this high because he's rented this season. His damage is very low, and his health is very low. But he is a decent enough body on the ground. But you're only really using him for the boost, or not the boost, the invulnerability. So you can give that invulnerability to Kamacuras, Leo, like anything. Give it to Earth, give it to Destroyer, give it to Jet Jaguar Single Point. He has a lot of versatility. I think that he is. I mean, you think he's mid A or low? I think that because of the rented levels and his utility, he is better this season than I think he will probably ever be again. After that buff gets removed, that one-hit rainbow doesn't bring much. Yeah, no. He is, like I said, he is only, like, I think he's only high A this season because he's rented. I think as soon as the rent goes away, he's probably coming down here, or, like, down here or something. Because he doesn't really bring a whole lot to the table outside of that one thing, but he's rented this season, so he's going to be in a better position than a lot of other people's character is. I'll compromise with you and put him here, because I don't think he's terrible, because you get a bunch of free levels on him, but he's also not a very strong unit outside of that one ability. So I'll put him here. He's going to be mid after this season for sure. It's just easy to use him this because he's got the rented levels. Waka Godzilla, our final contender of the night. This is just a phenomenal fucking character on like every goddamn level, bro. Waka is crazy, bro. Waka is ridiculous. He hits 3 times for a ridiculous amount of damage. I don't even know what it is. I mean, it's different every level, but we'll take it whatever it is, multiply by 3. He's crazy. People that have him at high levels sing his praise. His at 50% health, he pulses enemy characters away. Can you hear me? All right, cool. At 50% health, his pulse like blasts people away, and it's the same damage as his regular attack, except it hits once, not 3 times. He's G89 that can hit air. You know, his range pretty good. Waka at max level with the max studio buffs and other G9 buffs can hit for 4.2 thousand damage. Yeah, he is hitting for a ridiculous amount of damage. He is going to be in the S tier well after this season ends. He is built to last, bro. This Godzilla is kind of crazy. I actually think I just had deja vu. But he's so good. This Godzilla is so good. The 3 times that damage is on like another level, incomprehensible even. I mean, he is just fire to the highest order. He is really good. I cannot say enough how impactful I think he has been this season, and I really gonna be sad if they nerf him. If he ever gets nerfed. Makes sense. G89 is basically the face of the franchise. Yeah. G89 is the face of Battleline. He used to be really good. Now he's not. Now he's back. Lore accurate Heisei, who can beam spam. It's ridiculous. He's going to be good. Considering how powerful Waka is, I'm curious how insane Alternate Destroy would be, as well as Kai. I hope Alternate Destroy is insane. I love Destroy, and I just want him to be as good as possible, right? But yeah, guys, that's the tier list right there. I think we did a good job. I think that, you know, some things maybe could be better, some things maybe different, but I think I'm overall happy with it. Yeah, Waka's an Earth counter, exactly. I mean, he just rips up Earths, and you pair Waka with Mothra Leader this season, it's insane what you can accomplish. It's ridiculous. But I think this is where I am. This is the tier list. This is, I think, what we're going to call the stream. I'm going to download this, save it, post it into Discord. So if you want this tier list, you can either screenshot it here or go into Discord and just get the file. Would you recommend Desert Waka this season? That's a good question. I would recommend I feel like recommending Desgadori is a safe bet because a lot of people probably have him at rented way higher than they have their Wakas at. So Desgador is probably a safe bet. But that's a really good question. Waka is really good, but odds are most people probably have Desgador at a higher level. But this is the tier list. This is where I'm going to end it. I still got plenty of shit to do tonight. But I wanted to get this out for you before I go content dry for like 2 weeks. So I appreciate you. I love that everyone came and hung out tonight. It means a ton. I just got a very busy week ahead of me. And you guys understand. But I'll be in the Discord if you need to reach me for anything, or on Twitter. You can catch me there. So I'll see you guys in the next one, I guess. And bye-bye.
Te explicar de cuando tú me besas.